I'd like to welcome people back into the meeting and turn it over to Faculty Representative Bob Powell for his remarks.
Thank you, Madam Chair. While we were together at the last Regents meeting, legislation was introduced that would require the 3 higher education segments to develop an inventory of online courses in partnership with for-profit providers that could be offered to students in all 3 segments of public higher education in California. That proposal raised many red flags. By Friday of that week, Faculty Representative Jacob and I had posted a letter on the Academic Senate website detailing our opposition. We have not received one email or phone call from a faculty member questioning our position on this legislation. Indeed, on April 24th, our Academic Council met in Sacramento for the first time ever, and each of its members spoke in opposition before the Senate Education Committee. As Faculty Representative Jacob and I have become more embroiled in this, we have been asked, if faculty don't want this, what do they want? And I'd like to take a few minutes to offer some answers. First, we are collaborating with Provost Dorr to promote a UC-wide initiative that will strategically deploy the $10 million earmark for online instruction in the Governor's 13-14 budget. Our planning has involved hundreds of people meeting in the north and the south of the state, when we will soon issue a request for proposals that will challenge faculty to creatively use instructional technology to make high-impact courses available across the system. But as I like to note, none of this is really new to us. In 1997, I attended an all-university conference at UCLA to develop how one could harness the potential of the Internet for higher education. Even then, faculty were discussing what are now called hybrid courses and flipped classrooms. But our imaginations then were ahead of our times, and the technological tools were not really available. Still, over the interim, we have increasingly incorporated digital resources into our teaching. Indeed, at that 1997 conference, an old faculty member, who I think was about my age now, summed it up. If this technology poses interesting questions that can be addressed through scholarship, the faculty of the University of California will embrace it and claw their way to the forefront of the area. Our current challenge is to expand teaching and learning across campus boundaries, and we must also ensure that UC is where outstanding teaching is grounded in cutting-edge research. So what are our other priorities? 3 years ago, in 2009-10, the Senate Committee on Planning and Budget issued a report which has been termed the Choices Report. It weighed options and made recommendations aimed at providing guidance on the choices we face in the financial circumstances under which we live today. Although not adopted as an official Senate position, the report is worth revisiting for its prescient prediction of some of the pressures we face even as funding improves. First, UC Planning and Budget promoted prioritizing academic quality, increasing budget transparency, balancing system-wide needs and campus needs, disentangling sources of funds, supporting essential cross-subsidization, and recognizing UC Merced's unique situation and funding that campus accordingly. President Udolph, supported by the Academic Senate, has led efforts to do these things, all of which are necessary prerequisites for setting priorities. Today, as you will hear, we confront a rising student-faculty ratio. Planning and Budget's priorities suggested that maintaining the student-faculty ratio should have been the crucial factor in making decisions about the use of all funds. The report even called for curbing construction projects, if necessary, to maintain academic quality. Instead of working to restore student-faculty ratios, there is pressure today to move students through more quickly and cheaply. Working with the provost, we will insist that our initiatives have other goals, those that enrich and deepen the quality of our students' education. Today, I would hope that those of us educated in the 1960s and 1970s, if we were to attend a class, we would find that the experience may be different from what we had, but we would agree that the quality of the education is high. And the same must be true 40 years from now when the grandchildren of our students today visit that classroom, whether it's online or in person. The student-faculty ratios are just one element of maintaining excellence of our teaching and research. Hiring and retaining the best faculty in the world is the other. Towards this end, the UC Planning and Budget Committee said that the funding for UCRP, our retirement plan, should be a priority, and it has been. UC has honored its commitment to current employees by rewarding future service under current UCRP plan terms, and UC has taken on limited debt to maintain the health of UCRP. We strongly support additional efforts to continue along these paths. And finally, UCPB emphasized the need for competitive total remuneration for faculty and staff. Protecting UCRP is one part of this. Sustaining competitive salaries is another. The intervening years have been difficult in this regard, but I am pleased that over the last year, the Office of the President has committed to a rigorous study of total remuneration that will put to rest once and for all erroneous reports that all is well, reports based on old data and improper assumptions. So what do faculty want? We want an institution that prioritizes scholarship and learning. We want an institution that is supportive, that provides a supportive environment to pursue scholarship and engage students in learning. We want an institution that has transparent and fair budgeting practices. We want compensation that is fair with benefits underpinned by sound planning. And although not in UC Planning and Budget's charge, we want equity and diversity among our professoriate and fairness in our admission practices. I suppose you could say that we want to be part of the best public research university in the world, and that is what we are. Madam Chair, that concludes my remarks.